the game. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. Next on Madden Football.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about...
The veteran punter Bradley Pinion has this one teed up, and we are underway from Atlanta. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. So the new-look Steelers offense headed out for their first drive, led by a man in his 13th NFL season now. First is a Steeler, Russell Wilson.
After a tough couple of years in Denver, Wilson finally gets his fresh start, and he's certainly hoping to make the most of it. Truthfully, though, it's been tough sledding ever since being traded from Seattle a few years back, but he still has the talent and tools to make this next chapter a positive one.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. George Pickens, 58 yards. And the Steelers are on the board first here this afternoon. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions. And whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. So the Falcons make their way out behind their new quarterback for 2024, signed back in March, the veteran Kirk Cousins.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away, because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. To throw, Cousins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer,
Well, they were setting up the screen, CD, a lot of free runners, and they got there late, and the penalty ensued.
Yeah, somehow it didn't get into their brains that it was a screen, right? Instead of pulling off and chasing the ball downfield, they kept going towards the quarterback and knocked him down way late.
And he is going to go down. He will be He's sacked on the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it facing a second and long situation. Now Cousins. It's complete to Robinson. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now Cousins. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. A third and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That fifth defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Alex Highsmith picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Here's Austin. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. On the move to his left. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
George Pickens.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Steelers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game, so they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Boswell for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll try the right side with Harris.
And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
The way the game has changed a little bit is that defensive goals have changed in a big way. Nowadays, it's not so much stopping certain yardage or whatever, but it's not giving up big, explosive plays. Anything over 10 yards, you're trying to hold teams below that. When they get one against you,
and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris,
a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then 1 play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point now by Boswell. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. That escapes the sack. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead, they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Cousins now. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throwing is Cousins. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. No choice but to go. Here's fourth down now. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Turnover on down. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.